10 days after a landslide victory, Kerala still did not know who its chief minister would be. Think about that. The Congress led UDF crushes the left. The numbers are clear. The mandate is huge. And yet, Delhi hesitates. Why? Why did it take so long to declare the chief minister? Well, because this is not just about one chair. This was a power struggle between public mood on one side and party machinery on the other. Between the man who led the fight and the man many believed the High Command trusted more. And at the center of it all was one name, V.D. Satheesan. So who is he? Who is V.D. Satheesan? Well, official assembly records say V.D. Satheesan was born on 31st May 1964 in Nettur, Ernakulam. He's a lawyer by profession, a Congress leader by lifetime training, very happily married to our Lakshmi Priya, and they stay with their one daughter. He's not an outsider parachuted in at the last minute. He's a man who spent decades inside Kerala's political trenches. From student politics to the assembly floor to the post of leader of opposition, his own personal profile says he practiced at the Kerala High Court before actually entering electoral politics. Now, Satheesan's rise is classic Kerala Congress politics, but with one twist. He built his name more through student and youth politics and legislative combat than through the Delhi networking. He came up through KSU and NSUI, chaired the Mahatma Gandhi University Union, and later became an NSUI and AICC functionary. But his journey was not a straight climb. He lost his first assembly election in 1996 from Parau. Then in 2001, he bounced back, won the seat, and there was no looking back past that. That persistence matters. This is a politician whose life story is not one of instant formation. It's one of repeated grind, repeated survival, and finally arrival. Now look at the milestones. In the assembly, Satheesan built a reputation as a serious, prepared speaker. I think one of the defining moments that all of us recall is from 2006 when he took on the then finance minister, T.M. Thomas Isaac. And that's a very policy-heavy debate. They were debating over the lottery issue then. Now, later, during the UDF years, he also became a kind of an internal rebel, speaking on environment, transparency, what was called green politics. He even went on to attack factionalism inside the Congress. After the Congress lost Kerala in 2021, he was chosen as leader of opposition. From there, he helped steer the UDF through key by-poll wins, the 2024 Lok Sabha success in Kerala, the 2025 local body momentum, and ultimately the recent 2026 assembly landslide. Now let's look at the money. What is he worth? Now let's be precise. Media headlines call it net worth, but what the election affidavit actually gives you is an assets and liabilities declaration. Mr. Satheesan's 2026 affidavit shows declared assets of about 6.6 crore and liabilities of about 41.45 lakh. The holdings include bank deposits, land, a residential building, gold, even a Volkswagen Tiguan in the dependents column. So yes, he's financially comfortable. Not in the League of India's giant political tycoons. He looks more like a well-established senior politician lawyer with family assets built over time. But here's where the real story actually explodes. Congress choosing Satheesan was not a simple automatic decision. In fact, much of the reporting from Delhi and from Kerala suggested something else. It suggested that K.C. Venugopal, the powerful, plugged into the High Command and close to Rahul Gandhi figure, he had the support of a majority of Congress MLAs. Some reports, in fact, put it at 47 out of 63. Now, that's massive. So if Satheesan had public energy, Venugopal had internal arithmetic. And then, of course, there was Ramesh Chennithala, the veteran, still in the race with his own seniority claim. This is why the suspense actually stretched on for nearly 10 years. 3 figures, 1 position. Now ask the decisive question. If Venugopal had numbers, why did Satheesan win? Because Satheesan had something far more dangerous. He had momentum, political momentum. Congress workers were on the streets. The IUML, the biggest UDF ally after Congress, backed him. Other allies also moved in his favor. Workers actually said that the man who actually fought the LDF for 5 years should also head the government. Now, suddenly denying Satheesan the chair started looking like a political insult to the very mandate the UDF had just received. And Delhi saw that risk. Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi well understand that risk. There was one more complication. If Venugopal became chief minister, he was not an MLA. So the party would actually likely have to engineer an assembly entry for him and also deal with the fallout from his Lok Sabha seat in Alappuzha. That would have meant potential by-elections and fresh risks just when the party should have been enjoying its recent victory and triumph. So the high command, as they call it, was trapped now. Numbers pointed on one way, optics pointed the other way. The final answer is simple. Congress chose the man who looked politically inevitable in Kerala, even if he was not automatically the first institutional choice in Delhi. Indian Express actually summed it up very neatly. Ally support, cadre mood, and public optics beat pure MLA arithmetic. By the final day, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi were reportedly in talks with Venugopal to secure climb down and avoid an open rupture. Only after that did the formal announcement come in, where you saw Jairam Ramesh and then the announcement. So in other words, Satheesan did not just win a chief ministerial race. He actually survived a test between Delhi authority and Kerala sentiment. And the Kerala sentiment proved too big to ignore. Now comes the bigger question. What kind of a chief minister will he be? Now, Satheesan's public image is that of a sharp debater, a prepared opposition leader, and a man who tried to modernize Congress messaging. He's actually said that leadership is about vision and team building. It's not, merely prime ministerial experience or any ministerial experience. And he's argued that politicians actually must learn the language of Gen Z. Now that sounds modern, energetic, forward-looking. But critics will hit back with one brutal line. Opposition politics is not governance. And the challenge in front of him is quite brutal. It's not a very easy time that he's entering, this particular position and the government. Kerala enters his tenure with fiscal stress already quite visible. The PRS estimated a 2025-26 revenue deficit close to 27,000 crore. The CAG also warned about rising liabilities and debt sustainability. The state's 2026-27 financial statement projects a revenue deficit of, I think, roughly about 34,500 crore. Add to that unemployment pressure, migration anxiety, welfare expectations, and the fact that Congress itself has to be kept united after a bruising internally. So Satheesan's first mission is not just to form a cabinet, it's to prove that the man who could run a campaign can also run a state. So here's the bottom line. VD Satheesan is not just Kerala's new chief minister. He's the face of a Congress generational shift in the state, the beneficiary of a massive political mandate, and the survivor of a Delhi versus ground battle inside his own party. He got the chair because the party decided that post-victory legitimacy mattered more than private preferences. But from this moment on, excuses are over. The battle for the post is finished. The battle to justify it actually begins now. VD Satheesan has conquered the opposition benches. He's survived the Delhi power game. Now Kerala will ask him the only question that matters. Can he govern as well as he can? That's what's to be looked at.